Hey guys, tonight we explore Hades' attempt at gardening. Picture this, the Lord of the Underworld, clad in his flowing dark robes, decides that what his realm of shadows and whispers truly needs is a touch of floral elegance. You can almost see him standing there in a clearing amidst the mist and gloom, contemplating the possibilities of vibrant blooms amidst the asphodel fields. It's the kind of endeavor you think you might undertake on a whim, perhaps, after one too many glasses of ambrosia at a divine banquet. But let's be real, you probably won't survive this gardening adventure. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, why not drop a comment with your location and the local time? I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. As the story goes, Hades was not exactly famous for being a nature enthusiast. His domain was one of shadows and echoes where souls drifted like leaves in the wind, and the only flowers were those that Persephone occasionally brought from the surface world. But on a day when the underworld was particularly dreary, and his duties as the overseer of the deceased felt especially monotonous, Hades found himself yearning for something different, something to break the monotony of shades and silence, to add a touch of life to his realm of the dead. It was this yearning that sparked the idea of a garden, a place of beauty and tranquility amidst the darkness, a symbol of life in a land of death. But where would one even begin with such a venture, especially in a place where sunlight was a rare commodity and the soil was more accustomed to nurturing spirits than seeds? Hades, determined as he was, began his quest for the perfect location within his vast shadowy domain. He wandered through the fields of asphodel, past the river Styx with its murky whispering waters, and even considered the banks of Lethe, where forgetfulness flowed like a gentle stream. Each location presented its own unique challenges and quirks. The asphodel fields, while expansive, were already crowded with the souls of the indifferent, and the proximity to the Styx promised moisture, but also a constant reminder of the river's chilling embrace. In the end, he settled on a secluded glade, a rare open space where the ceiling of the underworld's cavernous expanse arched high above, allowing for a semblance of openness and room to breathe. Here, surrounded by the eternal twilight of the underworld, Hades envisioned a garden that would defy expectations, a place where the impossible would bloom with the vibrancy of the living. Of course, the seeds were an essential part of the equation. Hades wasn't exactly a frequent visitor to the mortal realm, nor did he have the inclination to stroll through the fields of the living in search of seeds. Instead, he turned to the one place where all things mystical and rare could be found, the fabled market of myths, a place where gods and mortals alike could discover the strange and wonderful. It was here, amidst the stalls of enchanted wares and peculiar trinkets, that Hades found a vendor offering seeds of divine origin. These seeds, said to be imbued with magic and the potential to bloom in even the most inhospitable environments, seem perfect for the task at hand. With seeds in hand, or rather in the folds of his robes, Hades returned to his chosen site, ready to begin the transformation. But as any gardener will tell you, the right seeds need the right soil to flourish. And therein lay the next challenge, the soil of the underworld. Unlike the fertile lands above the earth in Hades' realm, was dense with the essence of departed souls, enriched by the passage of countless spirits. It was said to be both nutrient-rich and stubbornly resistant to change, much like the souls it harbored. The task of preparing the soil was no simple feat. Hades found himself digging into the compacted earth, his efforts accompanied by the soft whispers of the departed. As he worked, he couldn't help but wonder if the souls beneath would find the notion of a flower garden amusing or absurd. After all, what need did the dead have for flowers? But Hades was determined, and with each turn of the spade, he envisioned the colors and scents that would one day fill this shadowy glade. Water, too, presented its own set of challenges. The rivers of the underworld were plentiful, but their waters were tinged with the memories and emotions of those who had crossed them. Drawing from the Styx or the Lethe would require careful handling, lest the garden be overwhelmed by the burdens they carried. Instead, Hades opted for a more measured approach, devising a system to capture the rare rains that fell in his realm. It was a delicate balance, ensuring that the nascent garden received enough moisture to thrive without being drowned by the emotions of the past. Despite these hurdles, Hades remained undeterred. He envisioned a space where life and death could coexist, where flowers would reach for the sky, even in the absence of the sun. It was a bold dream, one that would require more than just determination and divine seeds to bring to life. But as Hades stood there surveying his fledgling garden, a sense of hope flickered within him, a spark of life in a place where it was least expected. Hades' initial inspiration to start a flower garden was as mysterious as it was unexpected. You might wonder what could possibly spur the ruler of the underworld to cultivate something so delicate and alive. Perhaps it was the quiet influence of Persephone, his wife, whose presence brought a touch of the earthly seasons to his otherwise unchanging domain. Or maybe it was simply the monotony of his eternal duties, the endless cycle of guiding souls to their rest, that pushed him towards something different, a project that would challenge the very nature of his realm. Imagine Hades wandering the shadowy corridors of his kingdom, pondering the possibility of a garden. It was an idea that seemed absurd at first glance, much like the notion of a polar bear setting up a beach club in the Sahara. Yet Hades was not one to shy away from the improbable. After all, his very existence as the overseer of the dead was a testament to thriving in unlikely situations. He was accustomed to the whispers of the departed, the echoing silence of his halls, and the weight of shadows that clung to him like a shroud. A garden with its promise of life and color could be a small rebellion against the inevitability of death. The more he thought about it, the more the idea took root in his mind. He envisioned a place where the boundaries between life and death blurred, a sanctuary where the bloom of a flower could coexist with the whispers of souls. It was an ambitious dream, one that would require not only divine intervention, but a fair bit of trial and error. You could almost see Hades standing amidst his realm's eternal twilight, the faintest hint of a smile playing on his lips as he imagined the transformation. However, inspiration alone does not make a garden grow. Hades knew that to bring his vision to life, he would need to address the practicalities of gardening in the underworld. He needed to choose a location that would support his ambitions, a task easier imagined than accomplished. The underworld wasn't exactly known for its fertile lands or sunny disposition qualities that most gardeners would deem essential. The process of selecting the right location was fraught with challenges. Hades had to consider the soil, the availability of water, and even the potential for sunlight. Would a garden near the river Styx be too damp, its waters imbued with the memories of the dead? Or would the banks of Lethe, with its promise of forgetfulness, offer a more peaceful setting for growth? Each option presented its own set of complications, and the decision weighed heavily on him. Eventually, after much consideration, Hades settled on a secluded glade, a rare open space within his realm. Here, the cavernous expanse of the underworld arched high above, creating a sense of openness that was hard to come by in a land defined by shadows. It was a place where he could imagine the seeds taking root, where the flowers might reach for an unseen sun, defying the very nature of their surroundings. With a location chosen, Hades turned his attention to the seeds. It wasn't like he could just pop up to Mount Olympus or down to the local garden center to pick up a packet of daffodils. Instead, he sought out the Market of Myths, a place where the rare and extraordinary could be found. It was a bustling marketplace where gods, demigods, and even the occasional mortal could barter for the unusual and the enchanted. Amidst the stalls selling everything from enchanted olives to Arachne's finest woven tapestries, Hades discovered a vendor offering seeds said to be of divine origin. These seeds, the vendor claimed, were imbued with magic capable of thriving in even the most inhospitable environments. They were the perfect solution for Hades' unique gardening challenge, promising blooms that could defy the odds and flourish in the shadows. Returning to his chosen glade, Hades felt a renewed sense of purpose. He had the seeds, the location, and a vision of what could be. Yet, as any gardener knows, the road from seed to bloom is fraught with obstacles, and the underworld was no exception. The soil, dense with the essence of the departed, posed its own set of challenges. Rich in nutrients, it was also stubbornly resistant to change, much like the souls that inhabited it. Preparing the soil became a labor of love and frustration. Hades found himself toiling in the earth, turning the dense soil with a determination that rivaled that of Hercules himself. As he worked, he was acutely aware of the whispers of the departed, their voices a constant reminder of the world he inhabited. Yet he was undeterred. Each shovelful of earth brought him closer to realizing his vision, a small rebellion against the inevitability of death that defined his domain. Water, too, was a crucial component of his plan. The rivers of the underworld were plentiful, yet their waters were tinged with the emotions and memories of those who had crossed them. Drawing from the Styx or the Lethe would require careful handling, lest the garden be overwhelmed by the burdens they carried. Instead, Hades devised a system to capture the rare rains that fell in his realm. It was a delicate balance, ensuring that the nascent garden received enough moisture to thrive without being drowned by the emotions of the past. Despite the challenges, Hades remained steadfast in his pursuit. He envisioned a space where life and death could coexist, where flowers would reach for the sky, even in the absence of the sun. It was a bold dream, one that would require more than just determination and divine seeds to bring to life. But as Hades stood there surveying his fledgling garden, a sense of hope flickered within him, a spark of life in a place where it was least expected. The task of selecting the perfect location for his flower garden was an undertaking that Hades approached with the meticulousness of an architect planning a grand monument. In a realm where the very air seemed to whisper tales of the departed, finding a spot that could support the delicate balance of life was no small feat. You can imagine Hades with his regal demeanor and an unexpected twinkle of mischief wandering through his shadowy domain, sizing up potential sites like a real estate agent with a penchant for the macabre. Every corner of the underworld presented unique challenges. As Hades paced the fields of Asphodel, he was struck by the sheer monotony of the landscape. Rows upon rows of pale flowers stretched as far as the eye could see, their ghostly petals, a stark reminder of the souls who lingered there. It was a place of indifference where the spirits of those who had lived lives neither virtuous nor villainous wandered aimlessly. While the asphodel fields were expansive, they lacked the vibrancy and vitality that Hades envisioned for his garden. Hades also considered the banks of the river Styx with its dark, swirling waters that held the memories of every soul that had ever crossed its depths. The proximity to water was certainly a bonus, but the constant reminder of the river's chilling embrace cast a shadow over the idea. The Styx was a place of solemnity and transition, where the living world and the underworld met in a solemn handshake. A garden here would surely be haunted by the echoes of the past, its blooms burdened by the weight of forgotten sorrows. Further exploration led Hades to the banks of Lethe, the river of forgetfulness. Here the waters ran clear and serene, offering a sense of peace that was rare in the underworld. The idea of planting a garden where the very essence of forgetting flowed was intriguing. It could be a place where the flowers themselves symbolize rebirth and renewal, their petals unfurling in defiance of the river's gentle call to oblivion. However, Hades knew that a garden of forgetfulness would lack the depth and history he desired, a place where life and death could tell their intertwined stories. In the end, it was a secluded glade that captured Hades' imagination. It was a rare open space within his realm, where the cavernous expanse of the underworld ceiling arched high above, allowing for a semblance of openness amidst the ever-present shadows. Here, surrounded by the eternal twilight, Hades envisioned a garden that would defy expectations, a place where the impossible could bloom with the vibrancy of life, even in the heart of his dark domain. With the location secured, the next step was to consider the logistics of bringing his vision to life. Hades knew that the soil of the underworld would present its own set of challenges. Unlike the fertile lands above the earth, here was dense with the essence of countless souls enriched by their passage, yet resistant to change. It was said to be both nutrient-rich and stubborn, much like the spirits that inhabited it. Preparing the soil became a task that required both physical labor and divine intervention. As Hades dug into the compacted earth, he was accompanied by the soft whispers of the departed, their voices a constant reminder of the world he inhabited. Yet he was undeterred. Each shovelful of earth brought him closer to realizing his vision, a small rebellion against the inevitability of death that defined his domain. Water was another crucial consideration. The rivers of the underworld, with their mystical properties, offered potential sources, yet their waters were tinged with the memories and emotions of those who had crossed them. Drawing from the Styx or the Lethe, would require careful handling lest the garden be overwhelmed by the burdens they carried. Instead, Hades devised an ingenious system to capture the rare rains that fell in his realm, ensuring that his nascent garden received the moisture it needed to thrive. Despite the challenges, Hades remained resolute in his pursuit. He envisioned a space where life and death could coexist, where flowers could reach for the sky even in the absence of the sun. It was a bold dream, one that required more than just determination and divine seeds to bring to life. But as Hades stood there surveying his fledgling garden, a sense of hope flickered within him, a spark of life in a place where it was least expected. Historians still argue whether Hades' motivations for creating the garden were purely aesthetic or if he sought a deeper connection to the living world. Some suggest it was an attempt to impress Persephone, to offer her a taste of the life she left behind during her time in the underworld. Others believe it was a personal challenge, a way for Hades to prove that, even in a realm of shadows, life could find a way to flourish. Whatever the reason, the endeavor captured the imagination of the gods and mortals alike, becoming a tale of determination and defiance in the face of insurmountable odds. And so, with the location chosen and preparations underway, Hades embarked on his unlikely journey into gardening. It was a quest that would test his patience, creativity, and resolve a labor of love that promised to transform his realm in ways he could scarcely imagine. As the seeds of divine origin lay nestled in the earth, waiting for their moment to bloom, Hades stood watch over his garden, a silent guardian of life amidst the land of the dead. With the location secured and the soil prepared, the next crucial step in Hades' gardening endeavor was the acquisition of mystical seeds. After all, the seeds would be the heart of the garden, the source from which life would spring in this unlikely corner of the underworld. Hades, ever resourceful and determined, knew exactly where to find what he was looking for: the fabled market of myths, a place where the extraordinary was as common as the ordinary was above ground. Imagine Hades making his way to this bustling marketplace, a crossroads of the divine and the mortal, where the air buzzed with the chatter of bartering gods, demigods, and the occasional brave mortal. The market of myths was a veritable bazaar of the bizarre, where one could find everything from enchanted olives to phoenix feathers, each stall offering a glimpse into the wonders of the world, both known and unknown. As Hades strolled through the market, he was greeted by a cacophony of sights and sounds. The air was thick with the scent of exotic spices and the chatter of animated merchants hawking their wares. It was here, amidst the stalls of peculiar trinkets and enchanted goods, that Hades discovered a vendor offering seeds said to be of divine origin. These seeds, the vendor claimed with a flourish, were imbued with magic capable of thriving in even the most inhospitable environments. The vendor, a shrewd demigod with a keen eye for opportunity, recognized Hades immediately. After all, it wasn't every day that the ruler of the underworld graced the market with his presence. With a respectful nod, the vendor presented his most prized collection of seeds, each one a tiny promise of life wrapped in a shell of mystery. They were said to come from the farthest reaches of the world, where the sun kissed the mountains and the stars themselves whispered secrets into the earth. Hades, intrigued by the tales of these seeds, examined them with the discerning eye of one who knew the value of rarity. He listened as the vendor regaled him with stories of their origins, the peaks of Mount Olympus, the depths of the ocean, and even the fabled gardens of Elysium. Each seed was a testament to the resilience of life, a reminder that beauty could emerge even in the most unexpected places. With seeds in hand, Hades returned to his chosen glade, ready to begin the transformation. It was a pivotal moment, the culmination of careful planning and meticulous preparation. The seeds, with their promise of vibrant blooms, were the final piece of the puzzle, a catalyst for the garden he envisioned. Yet, as any seasoned gardener will tell you, the journey from seed to blossom is fraught with challenges, and the underworld was no exception. Planting the seeds was a task that required both care and precision. Hades, with the deftness of a craftsman, placed each seed in the prepared soil, whispering a silent prayer to the deities of growth and renewal. He worked under the watchful gaze of the underworld's eternal twilight, the shadows lengthening as the seeds settled into their new home. It was a labor of hope and patience, a testament to his belief in the resilience of life. As the seeds took root, Hades found himself contemplating the nature of growth in his realm. The underworld was a place where time flowed differently, where the past and present intertwined in a delicate dance. Would the seeds nurtured by the essence of the departed find a way to thrive amidst the shadows? Or would they succumb to the weight of history, their fragile blooms crushed by the inevitability of death? Historians still argue whether the seeds themselves held any intrinsic magic, or if their success depended solely on Hades' determination and care. Some suggest that the seeds were imbued with a divine spark, a touch of magic that allowed them to defy the odds and flourish in the most unlikely of places. Others believe that it was Hades' unwavering dedication and meticulous attention to detail that ensured their survival, a testament to the power of persistence in the face of adversity. Whatever the truth, the seeds represented a glimmer of hope in a land defined by shadows and silence. They were a promise of life amidst the dead, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As Hades tended to his nascent garden, he found himself both gardener and guardian, a custodian of life in a place where it was least expected. The garden, still in its infancy, became a focal point of Hades' domain, a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. It was a testament to his vision and determination, a dream made manifest in the form of delicate blooms and vibrant colors. And as the seeds began to sprout, pushing through the soil in search of light, Hades watched with a sense of wonder and pride, knowing that he had created something truly extraordinary. With the seeds planted and the promise of life nestled in the soil, Hades turned his attention to the unique properties of the underworld soil and the challenges it presented. Unlike the fertile earth of the mortal realm, which flourished under the sun's warm embrace, the soil in Hades' domain was a different beast altogether. It was rich with the essence of countless souls, a tapestry woven from the remnants of lives lived and lost, and it demanded a careful touch and a measured approach. Imagine Hades standing in his chosen glade surveying the ground with the discerning eye of a master craftsman. The soil here was dense and dark, enriched by the passage of souls and imbued with the weight of their stories. It was a soil that echoed with the whispers of the past, a constant reminder of the world that lay beneath the surface. For Hades, this was both a blessing and a curse, a source of nutrients that could nourish his garden, yet a stubborn and unyielding medium that resisted change. As he worked the soil, Hades was mindful of its unique composition. He knew that the key to success lay in understanding its quirks and idiosyncrasies, much like a chef who must adapt a recipe to suit the ingredients at hand. Each turn of the spade, each handful of earth, was a lesson in patience and perseverance, a dance between the living and the dead, a symphony of soil and seed. Hades quickly discovered that the soil's richness was both a boon and a challenge. It was teeming with nutrients, the remnants of lives lived and loves lost, yet it was also dense and compacted, resistant to the very notion of change. To coax the seeds into germination, Hades employed a delicate balance of aeration and amendment, turning the soil with care to ensure that it could breathe and support the life it cradled. As he worked, Hades couldn't help but reflect on the nature of growth and renewal. The soil, with its wealth of history and memory, was a testament to the resilience of life, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. It was a lesson that resonated deeply with Hades, a symbol of hope in a place defined by shadows and silence. Historians still debate whether the soil of the underworld possessed any intrinsic magic, or if its unique properties were simply the result of centuries of accumulated history. Some suggest that the soil was imbued with a divine essence, a touch of magic that allowed it to nurture life in the most unlikely of places. Others believe that it was the soil's deep connection to the past, its ability to hold and release the memories of those who had come before, that made it so fertile a testament to the enduring power of history and memory. Whatever the truth, the soil represented both a challenge and an opportunity for Hades. It was a medium that demanded respect and understanding, a living canvas upon which he could paint his vision of life and beauty. As he worked, Hades found himself both gardener and historian, a custodian of the past and a cultivator of the future. With the soil prepared and the seeds planted, the next challenge was to ensure that his garden received the moisture it needed to thrive. In the underworld, where sunlight was a rare commodity and rainfall even rarer, finding a reliable source of water was no small feat. The rivers that flowed through his domain, the Styx, the Lethe, offered potential solutions, yet each presented its own set of challenges. The Styx, with its dark and swirling waters, was steeped in the memories of those who had crossed it. Drawing from its depths would require careful handling, lest the garden be overwhelmed by the weight of forgotten sorrows. The Lethe, on the other hand, promised a gentler touch, its waters clear and serene, yet its essence of forgetfulness could prove detrimental to the garden's growth. In his quest for a solution, Hades devised an ingenious system to capture the rare rains that fell in his realm. It was a delicate balance, ensuring that his nascent garden received enough moisture to thrive without being drowned by the emotions of the past. The system, a series of carefully placed channels and reservoirs, allowed Hades to control the flow of water, nurturing his garden with a steady hand and a watchful eye. As the seeds began to sprout, pushing through the soil in search of light, Hades watched with a sense of wonder and pride. The garden, still in its infancy, was a testament to his vision and determination, a dream made manifest in the form of delicate blooms and vibrant colors. It was a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. For Hades, the garden represented more than just a collection of flowers. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, life could find a way to flourish. As he tended to his fledgling garden, he found himself both gardener and guardian, a custodian of life in a place where it was least expected. With the soil prepared and the seeds nestled beneath the surface, the next hurdle Hades faced was the matter of watering his fledgling garden. In a realm where rivers flowed with the weight of memories and rain, was a rare visitor. Finding a reliable source of water required more than divine intervention. It called for ingenuity and a bit of underworld engineering. Picture this: Hades, the formidable ruler of the underworld, not just managing souls, but also meticulously planning an irrigation system. It's not quite what you'd expect from the Lord of Shadows, but then again, this was no ordinary gardening endeavor. The rivers that crossed his realm, the Styx, the Lethe, and others less spoken of each, offered their own challenges and quirks. The waters of the Styx, for example, were imbued with the memories of those who had crossed it, while the Lethe promised forgetfulness, a quality that might not be ideal for nurturing new growth. Hades knew that the water from these rivers had to be handled with care. The last thing he wanted was for his garden to carry the burdens of the souls that had traversed these waterways. Instead, he set about devising a system that would harness the rare rains that occasionally blessed his domain. These rains, though infrequent, were pure and free from the emotional baggage carried by the river waters. Imagine Hades with the patience and precision of an artist constructing a network of channels and reservoirs to capture and store this precious resource. It was a system born of necessity and creative problem solving, a testament to Hades' determination to see his vision come to fruition. The channels, crafted with meticulous care, wound their way through this garden like veins carrying life-giving blood, ensuring that each plant received the moisture it needed to thrive. The reservoirs, strategically placed throughout the garden, served as both storage and a reminder of the delicate balance required to sustain life in the underworld. They were a testament to Hades' ingenuity, a reflection of his ability to adapt and overcome the challenges of his realm. With each rain, the reservoirs filled their waters, a promise of growth and renewal in a land defined by shadows. As the garden began to take shape, Hades found himself marveling at the resilience of nature. The seeds he had planted, nurtured by the soil and sustained by the carefully captured rain, began to sprout. Tiny green shoots pushed their way through the earth, reaching for an unseen sun, a symbol of life amidst the land of the dead. Historians still argue whether Hades' irrigation system was a stroke of genius or simply a necessity born of desperation. Some suggest that it was a testament to his adaptability, his ability to find solutions in the face of insurmountable odds. Others believe that it was a reflection of his deep-seated desire to connect with the living world, to bring a touch of life to his shadowy domain. Whatever the case, the system proved successful and the garden began to flourish. The blooms, though, still in their infancy, were a vibrant splash of color, against the backdrop of the underworld's eternal twilight. They were a testament to Hades' vision and determination, a reminder that life could thrive even in the most unlikely of places. As Hades tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment that was rare in his line of work. The garden became a sanctuary, a place where the boundaries between life and death blurred, where the whispers of the past mingled with the promise of the future. It was a place of beauty and tranquility, a symbol of hope in a world defined by shadows and silence. The garden, still young and fragile, required constant care and attention. Hades, with the diligence of a devoted gardener, ensured that each plant received the water and nutrients it needed to thrive. He watched over his creation with a sense of pride and wonder, knowing that he had achieved something truly extraordinary. The underworld, with its endless corridors and shadowed halls, had never seen anything quite like it. The garden was a testament to the power of determination and creativity, a symbol of life in a land where death reigned supreme. And as the flowers bloomed, their vibrant colors, a stark contrast to the monochrome world around them, Hades knew that he had created something truly special. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of resilience and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found solace and purpose, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. In the midst of nurturing his garden, Hades faced yet another formidable challenge: the shortage of sunlight. In a realm where the sun never shone, where the sky was a ceiling of eternal twilight, the absence of light was an obstacle that even the most tenacious of gardeners would find daunting. Yet Hades, ever resourceful, was not one to let a little thing like the absence of sunlight halt his ambitions. Picture Hades standing amidst his nascent garden, considering the dilemma, with the calm resolve of a man used to overcoming the odds. The underworld was a place where shadows danced and the light of day was but a distant memory. The absence of sunlight threatened to thwart his efforts to stifle the growth of the delicate plants that he had so carefully tended. But Hades was determined to find a solution, to bring a touch of light to his dark domain. Innovation, it seemed, was key. Hades turned to the natural luminescence of certain underworld elements, substances that glowed with a soft, ethereal light. These were the bioluminescent fungi and minerals that dotted the underworld's caverns, casting a gentle glow that illuminated the paths of wandering souls. With a little creativity, Hades realized he could harness this natural light to support his garden. He set about gathering these glowing elements, arranging them strategically throughout the garden to mimic the gentle kiss of dawn or the soft embrace of twilight. The garden, once cast in shadow, now sparkled with a celestial glow, a testament to Hades' ingenuity and determination. The bioluminescent light, though subtle, provided just enough illumination to encourage growth, to coax the plants toward the sky in a silent dance of life. Historians still debate the effectiveness of this approach, with some suggesting that Hades' use of bioluminescent elements was a stroke of genius, a testament to his understanding of the unique properties of his realm. Others argue that it was a desperate measure, an attempt to replicate the conditions of the living world in a place where such things were not meant to be. Yet whatever the truth, the garden began to flourish under its new light, the plants reaching upwards in defiance of their shadowy surroundings. The interplay of light and shadow transformed the garden into a place of magic and mystery, a realm where the boundaries between day and night were blurred. The flowers, their petals unfurling in delicate hues, seemed to glow with an inner light, a reflection of the bioluminescence that surrounded them. It was a sight to behold, a testament to the resilience of life in a place where death reigned supreme. For Hades, the garden became a sanctuary, a place of beauty and tranquility amidst the shadows. It was a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, hope could take root and flourish. The garden was a living testament to his vision and determination, a symbol of life in a land defined by death. As he tended to his garden, Hades found a sense of peace and fulfillment that was rare in his line of work. The garden became a place of solace, a refuge from the weight of his duties and the shadows that clung to him like a second skin. Here, amidst the blooms and the glow of bioluminescence, he could lose himself in the simple pleasures of life, the quiet satisfaction of watching something grow and thrive. The garden, still young and tender, required constant care and attention. Hades, with the diligence of a devoted gardener, ensured that each plant received the light, water, and nutrients it needed to flourish. He watched over his creation with a sense of pride and wonder, knowing that he had achieved something truly extraordinary. And so the garden thrived, its blooms a vibrant splash of color against the backdrop of the underworld's eternal twilight. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a testament to the power of determination and creativity, a symbol of hope in a world defined by shadows and silence. As Hades stood amidst his garden, surrounded by the gentle glow of bioluminescence and the vibrant colors of his blooms, he knew that he had created something truly special. The garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of resilience and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. In the intricate dance of seasons and shadows, Persephone's influence on Hades' garden became a pivotal element in its struggle to thrive. As the goddess who divided her time between the vibrancy of the upper world and the somber depths of the underworld, Persephone brought with her the essence of spring and the warmth of renewal. Her presence in the underworld, however fleeting, infused the garden with a unique vitality, a touch of life that defied the realm's pervasive gloom. Imagine Persephone, her footsteps soft upon the soil, as she moved through the garden with an innate grace and an understanding of the natural world that only a goddess of the harvest could possess. Her visits to the underworld were marked by a transformation, an echo of the seasonal shifts that took place above ground. It was as if she carried the very essence of spring with her, a breath of fresh air that rejuvenated the garden and infused it with life. Persephone's influence was subtle yet profound. Her presence seemed to awaken the plants, their leaves unfurling in a silent salute to her arrival. The flowers, previously subdued under the bioluminescent glow, brightened with an intensity that spoke of the sun's warmth even in its absence. It was a magical sight, a testament to the enduring power of life and renewal in a place where death was a constant companion. Historians still argue whether Persephone's influence was purely symbolic or if her presence truly affected the garden's growth. Some suggest that her visits coincided with the natural cycles of the underworld, a reflection of the balance between life and death that she embodied. Others believe that her presence imbued the garden with a divine energy, a touch of magic that allowed it to flourish despite the odds. As Persephone moved through the garden, she brought with her an array of earthly delight seeds from the mortal realm, cuttings from her mother's fields and stories of the world above. These gifts, each a token of her affection, added a richness and diversity to the garden that spoke of the interconnectedness of all living things. They were a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, the natural world continued to thrive and adapt, a testament to the resilience of life. Persephone's presence also served as a reminder of the garden's dual nature, a place where life and death coexisted in harmony, each a reflection of the other. Her visits were a time of renewal and growth, a period when the garden seemed to burst forth with a vibrant energy that defied the shadows. Yet her departure marked a return to the familiar rhythms of the underworld, a reminder of the cycles of life and death that governed all things. For Hades, Persephone's influence was both a blessing and a challenge. Her presence brought a vitality to the garden that was unmatched, yet it also highlighted the stark contrast between the upper world and his shadowy domain. Her visits were a reminder of the world he had left behind, a world of sunlit fields and vibrant blooms that existed beyond the reach of his realm. Yet despite the challenges, Hades found solace in the garden, a place where he could connect with the living world and the woman he loved. The garden became a symbol of their union, a testament to the enduring power of love and renewal in a place defined by shadows. It was a place of beauty and tranquility, a sanctuary amidst the whispers of the past and the weight of his duties. As Persephone's visits came and went, the garden continued to thrive each cycle, bringing with it new growth and renewal. The plants, nurtured by the soil and sustained by the captured rains, flourished under her gentle touch. The flowers, vibrant and alive, were a testament to the enduring power of life in a land where death reigned supreme. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden flourished, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and love. It was a place where life and death coexisted in harmony, where the past and present mingled in a dance of shadows and light. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As the seasons ebbed and flowed with Persephone's coming and going, Hades turned his attention to the design of his garden, a task that required as much creativity as it did divine inspiration. Crafting a garden in the underworld where shadows ruled and light was a rare commodity was no small feat. Yet Hades, with his keen eye for detail and an unexpected flair for aesthetics, set about designing a space that would be both a sanctuary and a marvel. Imagine Hades sketching plans on parchment with the focus of an artist composing a masterpiece. The garden was to be more than just a collection of plants. It was to be a testament to the harmony between life and death, a place where the impossible became possible. Hades envisioned winding paths that meandered through glades of bioluminescent blooms, their gentle glow casting a serene light on the shadows. The layout was carefully considered, each section of the garden designed to highlight the unique features of the underworld's soil and climate. Hades incorporated elements of symmetry and balance, drawing inspiration from the gardens of the mortal realm, while infusing them with a touch of divine whimsy. The result was a space that felt both otherworldly and grounded, a reflection of the duality that defined his realm. At the heart of the garden, Hades placed a central plaza, a gathering space where the living and the dead could come together in quiet reflection. Here, a fountain crafted from the purest Lethe waters bubbled serenely, its gentle sound, a soothing counterpoint to the whispers of the underworld. The fountain, a testament to Hades' ingenuity, served as both a focal point and a source of nourishment for the surrounding plants. Hades' design also included a series of terraces, each one a step closer to the garden's outer edges. These terraces, inspired by the hanging gardens of Babylon, allowed for a variety of plants to flourish within the garden's boundaries. The terraces were planted with flowers in a gradient of colors, from the deepest purples and blues of nightshade to the vibrant reds and yellows of celestial blooms. This arrangement created a visual symphony, a cascade of colors that drew the eye and lifted the spirit. Historians still debate the extent to which Hades' design was influenced by his experiences in the mortal realm. Some suggest that his time on the surface, albeit limited, allowed him to witness the beauty and diversity of earthly gardens, inspiring him to create a space that reflected both worlds. Others argue that the garden was a product of Hades' unique perspective, a blend of divine creativity and the stark realities of his domain. Regardless of its origins, the garden's design was a testament to Hades' vision and determination. It was a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. The garden was a reflection of his belief in the power of renewal and rebirth, a symbol of hope in a world defined by shadows. As the garden took shape, Hades found himself drawn to its beauty and tranquility. It became a place of solace, a sanctuary amidst the chaos and demands of his role as ruler of the underworld. Here, surrounded by the vibrant blooms and the gentle glow of bioluminescence, he could reflect on the nature of life and death, the delicate balance that governed all things. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a testament to the resilience of life, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his creation, he found a sense of purpose and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. The garden, a living testament to Hades' vision and creativity, continued to flourish its blooms, a vibrant splash of color against the backdrop of the underworld's eternal twilight. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. Amidst the careful planning and nurturing, Hades soon realized that his garden faced a new challenge: mythical pests. These weren't your average garden nuisances. These were legendary creatures with a penchant for mischief and a taste for the extraordinary. In the underworld where the unusual was the norm, these pests were as quirky as they were troublesome. Imagine Hades walking through his garden one morning only to find that the delicate petals of his cherished celestial blooms had been nibbled away by a band of mischievous nymphs. These ethereal beings, drawn to the garden's vibrant energy, relish causing chaos wherever they went. Their laughter, like the tinkling of distant bells, echoed through the garden as they flitted from flower to flower, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Then there were the shades of departed animals, ghostly creatures that wandered the garden in search of something they could no longer have. Among them was a particularly persistent shade of a rabbit, who had taken a liking to the tender shoots of Hades' prized nightshade. This spectral bunny with its ever-hungry spirit was a constant source of frustration and bemusement. Despite Hades' best efforts to deter it, the rabbit seemed to find its way back time and again, leaving Hades to ponder whether the afterlife offered any respite from such annoyances. But the whimsical pests were only part of the problem. The garden also attracted more sinister creatures drawn by its unique allure. Among them was the fearsome Charybdis, a legendary sea monster known for creating whirlpools in the seas above. In the underworld, Charybdis had adapted to its new environment, taking up residence in the garden's central fountain. It would occasionally stir the waters with its swirling presence, causing chaos and unsettling the delicate balance of the garden's ecosystem. Historians still argue whether these mythical pests were a reflection of the garden's unique nature or simply a challenge sent by the fates to test Hades' resolve. Some suggest that the pests were drawn to the garden by its vibrant energy, a testament to its success in thriving where life was not meant to flourish. Others believe that they were a reminder of the unpredictability of nature, a reflection of the delicate balance between order and chaos. Faced with these new challenges, Hades set about devising creative solutions to protect his garden. He enlisted the help of a few loyal shade spirits who had once been gardeners in the living world to act as guardians and caretakers. Together, they crafted ingenious traps and deterrents using the garden's natural elements to ward off the pests. For the nymphs, Hades introduced a series of enchanted wind chimes that sang with a melody only they could hear. The sound, soothing yet persistent, led them to a grove of fake blooms crafted from the glowing minerals of the underworld, keeping them distracted and away from the real flowers. To deal with the spectral rabbit, Hades devised an ethereal barrier that gently redirected the shade away from his precious plants. The barrier, composed of the whispers of benevolent spirits, provided a gentle nudge that guided the rabbit towards more suitable pastures in the garden's outer reaches. As for Charybdis, Hades struck a deal with the monster, offering it a place of honor in the fountain in exchange for keeping the waters calm. In return, Charybdis agreed to regulate the flow of water throughout the garden, ensuring that each plant received the nourishment it needed to thrive. Through these creative solutions, Hades was able to maintain the delicate balance of his garden, ensuring that it remained a sanctuary of beauty and tranquility amidst the chaos of the underworld. The garden continued to flourish, its blooms a testament to Hades' ingenuity and determination. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of resilience and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden thrived, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and love. It was a place where life and death coexisted in harmony, where the past and present mingled in a dance of shadows and light. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. Despite the obstacles and the occasional pest-induced chaos, Hades' garden was now teeming with life, albeit in a realm where life was an anomaly. Yet as with any venture, not every attempt was met with success. The garden's first blooms, while a testament to Hades' determination, were not without their share of failures and frustrations. It turns out that even divine intervention doesn't guarantee a green thumb. Imagine Hades standing among his plants, scratching his head as he examined the curling wilted leaves of a once promising vine. It was a humbling moment for the ruler of the underworld, a reminder that not even he could control the whims of nature entirely. The first batch of flowers, though planted with care and nurtured with love, struggled against the unique challenges of the underworld's harsh environment. The absence of consistent sunlight took its toll, as did the peculiarities of the underworld soil. Some plants, despite their divine origins, simply refused to adapt to their new home. Their blooms, vibrant at first, quickly faded to muted shades, their petals drooping as if succumbing to the weight of the shadows that surrounded them. It was a sight that would have discouraged a lesser gardener, but Hades was not one to back down from a challenge. Historians still debate the reasons behind these initial failures. Some suggest that the plant's struggles were due to the soil's unique composition, which, while rich in nutrients, was also dense and compacted, making it difficult for roots to take hold. Others argue that the lack of sunlight, despite Hades' clever use of bioluminescence, was simply too great a hurdle for some species to overcome. Yet, like any seasoned gardener, Hades saw these setbacks as opportunities to learn and adapt. He began experimenting with different species, seeking out those that might thrive in the peculiar conditions of his realm. He consulted with Persephone, whose knowledge of earthly flora proved invaluable in selecting plants that could withstand the unique challenges of the underworld. Together, they introduced a variety of hardy species plants that had evolved to survive in extreme conditions. These included the resilient stone crop, known for its ability to thrive in rocky soils, and the tenacious hellebore, a flower that bloomed even in the depths of winter. These plants, with their tough constitutions and adaptability, soon found a home in Hades' garden, their blooms a testament to the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. Hades also experimented with different planting techniques, adjusting the spacing and depth of each seed to better suit the soil's unique properties. He introduced a system of raised beds, allowing the plant's roots to breathe and access nutrients more easily. These adjustments, though simple, made a significant difference, allowing the garden to flourish in ways he had not previously imagined. As the garden began to recover from its initial setbacks, Hades found himself reflecting on the nature of growth and renewal. The struggles of the first blooms reminded him that failure was an inherent part of the process, a necessary step on the path to success. It was a lesson in humility and resilience, a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, life could find a way to thrive. For Hades, the garden became a symbol of hope and renewal, a testament to the enduring power of life in a land defined by death. It was a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. The garden was a reflection of his belief in the potential for growth and change, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and flourish. As he tended to his garden, Hades found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and resilient plants, became a sanctuary amidst the shadows, a place where he could reflect on the nature of life and death and the delicate balance that governed all things. And so the garden continued to thrive, a living testament to the power of determination and creativity. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. Despite the initial setbacks and the garden's slowly blossoming success, Hades' frustration with his horticultural endeavor occasionally reached a boiling point. It turns out that even the Lord of the Underworld isn't immune to the trials of a stubborn garden. Imagine him cloaked in his flowing robes, pacing the garden's winding paths, with a furrowed brow, his mind racing with thoughts of what could be improved, or perhaps just wondering why on earth he thought a garden in the underworld was a good idea. The garden was his passion project, a symbol of life amidst the land of the dead, yet it demanded more of him than he had ever anticipated. There were mornings when he would find entire sections of his carefully tended plants wilted or overrun by those pesky mythical pests. The frustration was akin to finding your favorite chocolate bar mysteriously vanished from the fridge, infuriating and inexplicable. But Hades wasn't one to let his frustrations fester. Instead, he channeled his energy into finding solutions, determined to see his dream come to fruition. He spent countless hours in the garden, nurturing each plant with meticulous care, adjusting the soil and watering schedules, and even consulting with Persephone for her insights on earthly gardening practices. It was a labor of love, a testament to his unwavering determination and commitment to creating something beautiful in his shadowy realm. Historians still argue whether Hades' frustrations were purely personal or if they stem from the inherent challenges of gardening in the underworld. Some suggest that his determination to succeed was driven by a desire to prove that life could thrive, even in the darkest of places. Others believe that his frustrations were a reflection of his deep-seated longing for a connection to the living world, a desire to bring a touch of life to his realm of shadows. In his quest for solutions, Hades began experimenting with new methods and techniques, seeking out ways to improve his garden's resilience and adaptability. He introduced a variety of companion plant species that thrived in close proximity, supporting each other's growth and deterring pests. This approach not only improved the garden's overall health, but also added a new layer of complexity and beauty to the landscape. Hades also explored the use of natural fertilizers, concocting mixtures from the underworld's abundant resources to enrich the soil and promote growth. These concoctions, though potent, required careful handling as their effects were unpredictable and often surprising. Yet through trial and error, Hades discovered combinations that worked wonders, breathing new life into his plants and encouraging them to reach for the sky. But perhaps the most significant change came in the form of a shift in perspective. Hades began to view his garden not as a series of individual plants, but as a living ecosystem, a community of life that thrived on balance and harmony. This new understanding allowed him to approach his frustrations with a sense of patience and acceptance, recognizing that growth was a process, not a destination. As the garden continued to evolve, Hades found himself growing alongside it. The frustrations that had once seemed insurmountable became opportunities for growth and learning, a testament to the resilience of both gardener and garden. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and resilient plants, became a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a reflection of his belief in the potential for growth and change, a reminder that life could flourish even in the most unlikely of places. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to thrive, a living testament to the power of determination and creativity. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. In the midst of his gardening journey, Hades found himself at a crossroads. Despite the progress he had made, there were still mysteries and challenges that eluded him. It was then that he decided to consult the fates, those enigmatic weavers of destiny, to seek their counsel on his garden's future. After all, if anyone could offer insight into the tangled web of life and death, it was the fates. Imagine Hades making his way to the Fates' lair, a place as mysterious as the ladies themselves. The air was thick with the scent of incense, and the faint hum of spinning threads filled the chamber. Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, each as ageless as they were, wise greeted Hades with knowing smiles, their eyes glinting with the secrets of the universe. The Fates listened patiently as Hades recounted the trials and triumphs of his garden. They nodded knowingly, their fingers deftly weaving the threads of destiny as he spoke. When he finished, they conferred in hushed tones, their voices a soft murmur of wisdom and prophecy. Finally, Clotho spoke, her voice clear and resonant, offering guidance that was both cryptic and profound. Historians still argue over the exact nature of the Fates' advice, but it is said that they spoke of balance and harmony, urging Hades to embrace the natural cycles of growth and decay. They reminded him that life and death were two sides of the same coin, each essential to the other's existence. Their advice seemed to echo through the chamber, a timeless reminder of the delicate balance that governed all things. Lachesis, the measurer of life's thread, encouraged Hades to be patient, to allow the garden to find its own rhythm, and to trust in the resilience of nature. She spoke of the importance of diversity, urging him to cultivate a variety of plants that could support one another in times of need. Her words were a gentle nudge towards the understanding that a thriving garden was a reflection of a thriving community. Atropos, the inevitable cutter of the thread, offered a reminder that not all things were meant to last. She spoke of the beauty in impermanence, the grace in letting go, and the wisdom in recognizing when to allow nature to take its course. Her words resonated with Hades, a reminder that even in the realm of the dead, change was a constant and necessary force. Armed with the Fates' counsel, Hades returned to his garden with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. He began to implement their advice, embracing the natural cycles of the garden and allowing it to develop at its own pace. He introduced new species, each chosen for its ability to thrive in the unique conditions of the underworld, and watched as they settled into their new home, forming a tapestry of life that was as diverse as it was beautiful. The garden, once a source of frustration and uncertainty, became a reflection of the balance and harmony that the fates had spoken of. The plants, nourished by the soil and sustained by the captured rains, flourished under Hades' watchful eye. They grew together, supporting one another in times of need, their blooms a testament to the power of community and resilience. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to thrive, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the wisdom of the fates. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As the garden in Hades' realm flourished, it became increasingly clear that the underworld's climate posed unique challenges that would test even the most resilient of blooms. The climate here was unlike any other, a realm suspended between extremes, where the air was both heavy with the weight of memories and yet eerily still. It was a place where no sun rose to warm the soil, and the only breeze was the soft whisper of souls. Hades, ever the diligent gardener, understood that adapting to these conditions was crucial for the survival of his garden. He had already come to terms with the absence of sunlight, crafting an environment that thrived under the gentle glow of bioluminescence. But there were other factors at play, elements that required a more nuanced approach to ensure that his plants could flourish. The humidity of the underworld was a constant companion, an invisible force that seeped into every corner of Hades' domain. It was a double-edged sword, providing much-needed moisture to the air, yet also encouraging the growth of molds and fungi that could threaten the health of the garden. Hades knew that finding the right balance was essential, that too much or too little humidity could spell disaster for his fragile blooms. To combat these challenges, Hades implemented a series of measures designed to regulate the garden's microclimate. He introduced a network of stone pathways carefully laid out to promote airflow and reduce the risk of fungal growth. These pathways, crafted from the smoothest river stones, wound their way through the garden like veins, ensuring that air and moisture could circulate freely. Historians still debate the effectiveness of Hades' strategies, with some suggesting that his approach was ahead of its time, a testament to his understanding of the delicate interplay between environment and growth. Others argue that his methods were a reflection of his deep-seated desire to create a sanctuary of life in a place where death reigned supreme. In addition to managing humidity, Hades also had to contend with the temperature fluctuations that characterize the underworld. Though the realm was shrouded in eternal twilight, the temperature could vary dramatically, shifting from a bone-chilling cold to a suffocating heat. These extremes posed a constant threat to the garden's delicate ecosystem, requiring careful attention and adaptation. To mitigate these fluctuations, Hades devised a system of thermal regulation, incorporating elements of both architecture and nature. He constructed a series of trellises and pergolas, their latticework providing shade and shelter from the harshest of conditions. These structures, draped in vines and climbing plants, created a microclimate within the garden, offering protection from the elements and allowing the plants to thrive. The trellises, crafted from the finest underworld materials, were both functional and beautiful, their intricate designs a reflection of Hades' artistic sensibilities. They provided a framework for the garden's growth, a structure upon which life could flourish and adapt to the ever-changing conditions of the realm. As the garden continued to evolve, Hades found himself increasingly attuned to the rhythms of his domain. He learned to read the subtle signs of change, to anticipate the shifts in temperature and humidity that could affect his plants. It was a lesson in patience and observation, a reminder that even in the most challenging of environments, nature held its own wisdom and grace. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a testament to the resilience of life, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to thrive, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt to the challenges of the underworld's unique climate. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. In the delicate balance of underworld gardening, a new wrinkle emerged when Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, decided to offer her unsolicited advice. Known for her flair and flamboyance, Aphrodite had a reputation for turning heads and stirring pots, often in equal measure. Her appearance in Hades' garden was as unexpected as it was dazzling, a burst of color and charisma amid the monochrome shadows. Picture this Aphrodite gliding into the garden, her presence as radiant as the morning sun, with a trail of roses blooming at her every step. She brought with her an entourage of nymphs and muses, each one as eager to impart wisdom as they were to admire the garden's unexpected beauty. Hades, though surprised by the visit, was not entirely unprepared. After all, he knew that the gods had a tendency to meddle in affairs both mortal and divine. With a flourish, Aphrodite surveyed the garden, her discerning eye taking in the vibrant blooms and intricate designs that Hades had so carefully cultivated. Her gaze lingered on the celestial flowers, their petals shimmering with a soft luminescence, that rivaled the stars themselves. It was clear that she was impressed, though she would never admit it outright. Historians still debate the exact nature of Aphrodite's advice, but it is said that she suggested adding more color and fragrance to the garden. She envisioned a paradise of sensory delights, a place where the air was thick with the scent of jasmine and honeysuckle and where every corner danced with the hues of a painter's palette. Her vision was one of excess and opulence, a reflection of her own divine persona. For Hades, Aphrodite's suggestions presented both a challenge and an opportunity. On one hand, her ideas were intriguing, a chance to infuse his garden with new life and diversity. On the other hand, her penchant for extravagance threatened to upset the delicate balance he had worked so hard to achieve. It was a fine line to walk, one that required careful consideration and a touch of diplomacy. With a nod of thanks, Hades set about integrating some of Aphrodite's ideas into his garden, albeit with a measured hand. He introduced a selection of fragrant plants, choosing species that would complement the existing flora without overwhelming them. Lavender and thyme, with their subtle scents and hardy constitutions, found a home among the garden's winding paths, adding both beauty and resilience to the landscape. In the spirit of Aphrodite's vision, Hades also experimented with new color palettes, incorporating flowers with vibrant blooms that stood out against the garden's muted backdrop. The addition of marigolds and poppies with their fiery hues created striking contrasts that drew the eye and added a new dimension to the garden's aesthetic. Yet despite these changes, Hades remained true to his original vision. He understood that the garden's beauty lay not only in its diversity, but also in its harmony and balance. Each plant, each bloom was carefully chosen and placed to create a cohesive whole, a living tapestry that reflected the interconnectedness of life and death. The garden, with its new additions and enhancements, continued to thrive, its blooms a testament to the power of collaboration and creativity. Hades found himself marveling at the transformation, grateful for Aphrodite's input, yet mindful of the delicate balance that defined his domain. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of determination's creativity and the ability to adapt and grow. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As the garden in Hades' realm continued to grow and change, it gradually garnered a reputation among the gods, a reputation that was as varied as the personalities of the divine themselves. News of this unlikely sanctuary in the underworld spread through whispers and tales, each retelling, adding its own embellishments and interpretations. The garden became a topic of intrigue and debate, a subject that piqued the curiosity of Olympus and beyond. Imagine the gods gathered in their celestial halls, discussing the garden over ambrosia and nectar, their voices carrying a blend of admiration, skepticism, and a touch of divine gossip. Some saw it as a testament to Hades' ingenuity and determination, a bold undertaking that defied the very nature of his realm. Others viewed it with suspicion, questioning the motives behind such an endeavor and wondering what it might signify for the balance of the cosmos. Among the pantheon, opinions varied widely. Zeus, with his ever-watchful eye, regarded the garden as a fascinating experiment, a symbol of life's resilience in the face of adversity. To him, it was a reflection of Hades' unique perspective, an embodiment of the duality that defined the underworld, a place where life and death coexisted in harmony. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, saw the garden as a triumph of strategy and planning a master class in adaptation and innovation. She admired the way Hades had navigated the challenges of his environment, crafting a sanctuary that was as functional as it was beautiful. To her, the garden was a testament to the power of knowledge and perseverance. Yet not all opinions were favorable. Ares, the god of war, viewed the garden with disdain, dismissing it as a frivolous distraction from the true nature of the underworld. He saw it as an attempt to soften the harsh realities of death, a gesture that undermined the very essence of Hades' domain. To him, the garden was an unnecessary indulgence, a waste of time and resources. Historians still argue over the impact of the garden's reputation among the gods, with some suggesting that it served as a catalyst for change, inspiring others to explore the boundaries of their own realms. Others believe that it was simply a reflection of the gods' diverse perspectives, a reminder that even in the divine world, opinions were as varied as the stars themselves. For Hades, the garden's reputation was both a source of pride and a challenge. He was gratified by the recognition and interest it received, yet mindful of the scrutiny that accompanied it. The garden was a reflection of his vision and determination, a symbol of hope and renewal in a place defined by shadows. It was a reminder of the power of creativity and collaboration, a testament to the potential for growth and change. As the garden continued to thrive, it became a destination for those gods and goddesses curious enough to seek it out. They came in small groups, each visit marked by a sense of wonder and discovery. They wandered the garden's winding paths, marveling at the vibrant blooms and the harmonious interplay of life and death. For many, it was a revelation, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. For Hades, these visits were a testament to the garden's success, a recognition of the hard work and dedication he had poured into its creation. He welcomed his divine guests with a sense of pride and humility, sharing the story of the garden's journey and the lessons it had taught him about resilience and renewal. And so the garden continued to flourish, its reputation growing alongside its vibrant blooms. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As word of Hades' garden spread and its reputation grew, so too did the pressure to innovate and sustain its success. Hades, ever the determined gardener, found himself exploring new techniques and strategies to keep the garden thriving amidst the unique challenges of the underworld. It was a quest that required both creativity and resourcefulness, a journey that would test the limits of his ingenuity. One of the first techniques Hades experimented with was the concept of moon gardening, a practice inspired by the cycles of the celestial bodies. While the underworld was devoid of sunlight, the presence of bioluminescent fungi and minerals offered a semblance of lunar light, creating an environment where plants could thrive under the gentle glow of night. Hades began to align his gardening practices with the phases of this underworld moonlight, timing his planting and harvesting to coincide with the natural rhythms of the realm. The results were promising. Plants sown during the waxing glow of the fungi showed increased vigor and resilience, their roots stretching deeper into the nutrient-rich soil. Harvest time to the waning light yielded blooms of unparalleled beauty and complexity, each one a testament to the power of nature's cycles. Hades found himself marveling at the harmony between his garden and the rhythms of the underworld, a dance of light and shadow that defied the odds. Historians still debate the efficacy of moon gardening in the underworld, with some suggesting that it was a stroke of genius, a reflection of Hades' ability to adapt and innovate. Others argue that the technique was more symbolic than practical, a nod to the interconnectedness of life and the cosmos. Whatever the truth, the practice added a new layer of depth and complexity to the garden, a reminder of the delicate balance that governed all things. In addition to moon gardening, Hades also explored the use of companion planting, a technique that involved growing complementary plants in close proximity to one another. This approach, inspired by the wisdom of Persephone and the insights of earthly gardeners, allowed Hades to create a self-sustaining ecosystem within the garden, one where plants supported and protected each other in times of need. For example, he paired aromatic herbs like basil and mint with delicate flowers, using their natural scents to deter pests and enhance growth. He also introduced nitrogen-fixing plants like clover and alfalfa, enriching the soil and promoting healthier, more robust blooms. These partnerships, though simple, had a profound impact on the garden's health and vitality, allowing it to flourish in the face of adversity. The garden, with its innovative techniques and harmonious design, continued to captivate the imagination of those who visited. It was a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. The garden was a reflection of Hades' belief in the power of renewal and rebirth, a testament to the enduring resilience of life in a land defined by shadows. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to thrive, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. With the garden flourishing and becoming the talk of Olympus, Hades decided it was time to showcase his creation. He envisioned hosting lavish garden parties gatherings that would bring together gods and goddesses, shades and spirits in a celebration of life and beauty amidst the underworld's shadows. The idea of a garden party in the realm of the dead might seem as unlikely as a snowstorm in the Sahara, but for Hades it was a chance to share the fruits of his labor with the divine community. Imagine the anticipation as invitations were sent out, each scroll adorned with a pressed flower from the garden itself, a harbinger of the wonders that awaited. The underworld, typically a place of solemnity and whispers, buzzed with excitement as preparations for the event got underway. The garden was transformed into a venue of enchantment, the paths lined with flickering lanterns that cast a warm glow over the blooms. On the day of the first garden party, the underworld was alive with activity. Guests arrived in a procession of divine splendor, their presence a testament to the garden's growing reputation. Zeus, Athena, Aphrodite, and other members of the pantheon descended into the underworld, each eager to witness the marvel that Hades had created. Even Hermes, ever the curious traveler, made an appearance, his winged sandals barely touching the ground as he flitted from bloom to bloom. As the gods explored the garden, they were met with a sensory feast. The air was fragrant with the scent of lavender and jasmine, a perfume that lingered on the breeze and mingled with the soft, earthy notes of the underworld soil. The blooms, each more vibrant than the last, unfolded like a celestial tapestry, their colors reflecting the gentle glow of bioluminescence that bathed the garden in a dreamlike light. Historians still debate the impact of these garden parties, with some suggesting that they served as a bridge between the worlds of the living and the dead, a celebration of the interconnectedness of all things. Others argue that the gatherings were simply an excuse for the gods to indulge in revelry, a diversion from their celestial duties. Whatever the case, the parties became a highlight of the divine calendar, a testament to the garden's success and Hades' vision. The festivities were marked by music and laughter, the sounds of lyres and flutes weaving through the garden like a gentle breeze. Nymphs danced among the flowers, their movements as fluid as the river Styx itself, while muses recited poetry that praised the garden's beauty and the resilience of life. It was a celebration of creativity and collaboration, a reminder of the power of nature and the divine. For Hades, the garden parties were more than just social events. They were a reflection of his belief in the power of renewal and rebirth, a testament to the enduring resilience of life in a land defined by shadows. As he mingled with his guests, sharing stories of the garden's journey and the lessons it had taught him, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and harmonious design, continued to captivate the imagination of those who visited. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, beauty could emerge and thrive. And so the garden parties became a cherished tradition, a celebration of life and beauty that transcended the boundaries of the divine and the mortal. They were a testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. The garden was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. It was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. Among the myriad of blooms that graced Hades' garden, there was one flower that stood out from the rest, a mysterious bloom that seemed to defy explanation. This flower, unlike any other in the underworld, captured the imagination of all who beheld it, its beauty both mesmerizing and enigmatic. It was a bloom that seemed to hold secrets within its petals, a testament to the garden's unique nature and the mysteries of life itself. The flower appeared one morning, its presence a delightful surprise to Hades and Persephone as they strolled through the garden's winding paths. Its petals were a deep indigo, shimmering with a luminescent glow that seemed to pulse with an inner light. Its fragrance was intoxicating, a blend of night-blooming jasmine and honey, a scent that lingered in the air long after the flower was out of sight. Hades, ever the curious gardener, was both intrigued and perplexed by this mysterious addition to his garden. He could not recall planting such a seed, nor did it resemble any of the other blooms that adorned the garden. The flower's origins were a mystery, a puzzle that beckoned to be solved. It was as if the underworld itself had conspired to create this singular bloom, a gift from the shadows that defied explanation. Persephone, with her deep understanding of the natural world, suggested that the flower might be a spontaneous hybrid, a result of the garden's unique environment and the interplay of divine and earthly elements. She hypothesized that the flower could be a manifestation of the garden's resilience, a reflection of the harmony that Hades had cultivated in his realm. Historians still debate the origins of the mysterious flower, with some suggesting it was a divine intervention, a gift from the gods as a symbol of their approval. Others believe it was a natural occurrence, a testament to the garden's fertility and the adaptability of life in the underworld. Whatever the case, the flower became a symbol of the garden's success, a reminder of the beauty that could emerge from the most unlikely of places. As word of the mysterious flower spread, it became a point of fascination for the gods and goddesses. They visited the garden in droves, eager to catch a glimpse of the bloom and unravel its secrets. Even Demeter, Persephone's mother and goddess of the harvest, made a rare trip to the underworld to see the flower for herself. Her visit, marked by a blend of curiosity and maternal pride, was a testament to the flower's allure and the garden's growing reputation. For Hades, the flower was more than just a botanical curiosity. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to the mysterious bloom, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. The flower, with its vibrant petals and intoxicating fragrance, continued to captivate the imagination of those who visited. It was a testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. The garden, with its harmonious design and vibrant blooms, became a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of renewal and rebirth. It was a place where the impossible became possible, a symbol of hope and resilience in a land defined by shadows. The mysterious flower, with its enigmatic beauty, remained a focal point of the garden, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. The garden, now an emblem of beauty and resilience, was soon graced by a visit from Demeter, the goddess of the harvest and Persephone's mother. Her presence in the underworld was a rare occurrence, as she preferred the sunlit fields and fertile lands of the mortal realm. Yet the tales of Hades' garden and its mysterious bloom had piqued her interest, drawing her to the depths to see this wonder for herself. Imagine Demeter's arrival, her aura of warmth and growth contrasting with the somber tones of the underworld. Her footsteps brought with them a whisper of spring, a reminder of the world above where life thrived under the sun's embrace. The air seemed to hum with anticipation as she made her way through the garden, her eyes taking in the vibrant blooms and harmonious design that Hades had so carefully crafted. Demeter's visit was not without its tension. Her relationship with Hades had always been complicated, marked by a blend of respect and resentment over Persephone's dual existence between their realms. Yet as she walked through the garden, her initial skepticism gave way to admiration. The garden was a testament to Hades' dedication and vision, a reflection of his commitment to creating something beautiful in a place defined by shadows. Historians still argue over the significance of Demeter's visit, with some suggesting that it marked a turning point in her perception of Hades and his domain. Others believe it was simply an opportunity for her to connect with her daughter and understand the world she inhabited for half the year. Whatever the case, Demeter's presence was a moment of reconciliation, a bridge between the realms of life and death. As Demeter explored the garden, she was drawn to the mysterious flower that had captured the imagination of so many. Its vibrant indigo petals and intoxicating fragrance seemed to defy the very nature of the underworld, a reminder of the beauty that could emerge from the most unlikely of places. Demeter marveled at the bloom, her heart swelling with pride and a touch of envy for the creation that had taken root in Hades' realm. In a gesture of goodwill, Demeter offered Hades her blessing, a recognition of his efforts and a testament to the garden's success. She shared her insights on cultivation and growth, offering advice on how to nurture the garden's delicate ecosystem and ensure its continued prosperity. Her wisdom, born of centuries of tending to the earth, added a new layer of depth and understanding to Hades' approach. For Hades, Demeter's visit was both a validation and a challenge. Her presence in the garden was a reminder of the power of collaboration and the potential for growth and renewal. It was an opportunity to learn from her expertise and to strengthen the bonds between their realms, creating a space where life and death could coexist in harmony. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and harmonious design, continued to captivate the imagination of those who visited. It was a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present coexisted in harmony. The garden was a reflection of Hades' belief in the power of renewal and rebirth, a testament to the enduring resilience of life in a land defined by shadows. As Demeter prepared to return to the world above, she left with a newfound respect for Hades and his garden. Her visit was a moment of connection, a bridge between their realms and a testament to the power of nature and the divine. The garden, with its mysterious bloom and vibrant colors, became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As time passed, Hades' garden, once a symbol of vibrant life, amidst the shadows began to show signs of decline. The initial excitement and novelty that surrounded its creation had faded, leaving behind the harsh realities of maintaining such an endeavor in the underworld. The garden, once lush and teeming with color, seemed to wilt under the weight of its own success, its blooms less vibrant, its paths less traveled. Hades, ever the diligent caretaker, noticed the changes with a heavy heart. The garden, which had brought him so much joy and fulfillment, was now a source of concern and frustration. The challenges of the underworld's climate, the relentless march of time, and the inevitable cycles of growth and decay had taken their toll on the once flourishing sanctuary. Despite his best efforts to revive the garden, Hades found himself facing an uphill battle. The soil, once rich and fertile, had become compacted and resistant to change. The bioluminescent glow that had bathed the garden in a gentle light now seemed dim and subdued, a reflection of the garden's waning vitality. Even the mysterious flower, once a symbol of the garden's resilience, struggled to maintain its enigmatic beauty. Historians still debate the reasons behind the garden's decline, with some suggesting that it was a natural consequence of the underworld's harsh environment. Others believe that the garden's success had attracted too much attention, leading to overexposure and a loss of the delicate balance that had once sustained it. Whatever the case, the garden's decline was a poignant reminder of the impermanence of all things, a testament to the cycles of life and death that govern the universe. In his efforts to restore the garden, Hades sought the counsel of Persephone, whose knowledge of the natural world proved invaluable. Together, they devised a plan to rejuvenate the garden, focusing on improving the soil's health and introducing new plants that were better suited to the underworld's unique conditions. It was a labor of love, a testament to their shared commitment to the garden's survival. To breathe new life into the soil, Hades and Persephone introduced a program of crop rotation, allowing the earth to recover and replenish its nutrients. They also experimented with new fertilizers crafted from the abundant resources of the underworld to enrich the soil and promote healthy growth. These efforts, though time-consuming, began to show promise as the garden slowly regained its vitality and vigor. In addition to soil management, Hades and Persephone focused on diversifying the garden's plant life, selecting species that could thrive in the underworld's challenging environment. They introduced a variety of hardy perennials known for their resilience and adaptability, as well as drought-tolerant plants that required less water and care. These new additions, though modest in appearance, added a depth and complexity to the garden that spoke of its enduring spirit. As the garden began to recover, Hades found himself reflecting on the lessons it had taught him about resilience and renewal. The garden's decline, though disheartening, had been a powerful reminder of the cycles of life and death, a testament to the impermanence of all things. Yet in its recovery, he saw a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, beauty could emerge and thrive. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reflection of his belief in the power of growth and change. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope could take root and flourish. As Hades' garden slowly regained its footing, he found himself reflecting on the journey it had taken him, on a journey marked by triumphs and challenges, growth and decay. It was a journey that had taught him valuable lessons about the nature of life and death, the delicate balance that governed all things, and the power of resilience in the face of adversity. Sitting amidst the blooms, Hades contemplated the reflections on failure that had accompanied his efforts. The garden had been a labor of love, a testament to his determination and creativity. Yet it had also been a source of frustration and heartache. The setbacks and challenges had tested his resolve, pushing him to the brink of despair and forcing him to confront the limitations of his realm. Yet despite the difficulties, Hades found himself grateful for the lessons the garden had imparted. It had taught him the importance of patience and perseverance, the value of collaboration and adaptation. It had shown him the beauty of impermanence, the grace in letting go, and the wisdom in recognizing when to allow nature to take its course. Historians still argue over the significance of the garden's journey, with some suggesting that it was a reflection of Hades' own evolution, a testament to his growth as both a ruler and a gardener. Others believe that it was a symbol of the eternal cycles of life and death, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Whatever the case, the garden had become an integral part of Hades' realm, a symbol of hope and renewal amidst the shadows. As the garden continued to thrive, Hades found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his domain. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and harmonious design, was a reflection of his belief in the power of renewal and rebirth, a testament to the enduring resilience of life in a land defined by shadows. For Hades, the garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, beauty could emerge and thrive. As he tended to his garden, Hades found himself looking to the future with a sense of hope and optimism. The garden had taught him that life was a constant journey, a dance of growth and change that required both care and courage. It was a lesson he carried with him as he continued to nurture his creation, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, hope could take root and flourish. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of renewal and rebirth. It was a place where the impossible became possible, a symbol of hope and resilience in a land defined by shadows. The garden was a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, beauty could take root and thrive. As Hades' garden continued to thrive, It became a lasting legacy within the underworld, a testament to the enduring power of nature and the resilience of life. The garden, once a fledgling experiment, had grown into a vibrant sanctuary, a place where the boundaries between life and death were blurred, where the past and present mingled in a dance of shadows and light. The legacy of the garden extended beyond its vibrant blooms and harmonious design. It became a symbol of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the most unlikely of places, beauty could emerge and endure. For Hades, the garden was more than just a personal triumph. It was a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things, a testament to the power of collaboration and creativity. The garden's impact on the underworld was profound. It inspired those who visited, offering a glimpse of life amidst the shadows, a reminder of the potential for growth and change. The garden became a place of solace and reflection, a sanctuary for souls seeking peace and renewal. It was a space where the stories of the past could be honored and the possibilities of the future imagined. Historians still debate the garden's legacy, with some suggesting that it marked a turning point in Hades' reign, a reflection of his evolving role as both ruler and steward of the underworld. Others believe that it was a symbol of the eternal cycles of life and death, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Whatever the case, the garden had become an integral part of Hades' realm, a symbol of hope and renewal amidst the shadows. For Hades, the garden was a source of inspiration and fulfillment, a testament to the power of determination and creativity. It was a reminder of the beauty and resilience of life, a reflection of his belief in the potential for growth and change. As he tended to his garden, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcended the boundaries of his realm. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and harmonious design, continued to captivate the imagination of those who visited. It was a place where the impossible became possible, where life and death coexisted in harmony. The garden was a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, beauty could emerge and thrive. As Hades looked to the future, he saw the garden as a legacy that would endure for generations to come. It was a testament to the power of nature and the resilience of life, a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things. The garden was a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, hope could take root and flourish. And so the garden continued to flourish, a living testament to the power of renewal and rebirth. It was a place where the impossible became possible, a symbol of hope and resilience in a land defined by shadows. The garden was a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, beauty could take root and thrive. As the tale of Hades' garden draws to a close, it leaves behind a legacy woven into the very fabric of the underworld. This once improbable oasis stands as a testament to the power of vision, the resilience of life, and the beauty that can emerge from the most unexpected places. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and harmonious design, has become more than just a sanctuary of flora. It is a symbol of transformation and hope, a beacon of life in a land defined by shadows. The garden's influence extended beyond its borders, inspiring the denizens of the underworld and the gods above. It became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking solace and renewal, a refuge where the weary could find peace amidst the chaos. For the shades who dwelt in the underworld, the garden offered a glimpse of life's possibilities, a reminder that growth and change were always within reach. As Hades reflects on his journey, he recognizes the garden as a mirror to his own evolution, a reflection of his growth as both a ruler and a caretaker. The challenges he faced and the lessons he learned shaped not only the garden, but also his understanding of the delicate balance between life and death. The garden taught him about patience, the importance of nurturing potential, and the grace found in impermanence. Historians continue to debate the broader implications of Hades' garden, with some viewing it as a metaphor for the cycles of life and death that govern all existence. Others see it as a testament to the power of collaboration and creativity, a reminder that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with vision and determination. Whatever its interpretation, the garden remains a powerful symbol of hope and renewal, a testament to the enduring resilience of life. For Hades, the garden is a source of inspiration and fulfillment, a connection to the living world that transcends the boundaries of his realm. It serves as a reminder of the beauty and resilience of life, a reflection of his belief in the potential for growth and change. As he tends to his garden, he finds a sense of peace and fulfillment, a testament to the power of renewal and rebirth. And so the garden continues to flourish, a living testament to the power of determination, creativity, and the ability to adapt and grow. It is a place where the impossible becomes possible, where life and death coexist in harmony. The garden is a symbol of renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the depths of the underworld, hope can take root and flourish. As the garden story gently fades, let the tale of Hades' garden remind you of the beauty that can be found in unexpected places, the resilience that lies within each of us, and the potential for growth and renewal that exists even in the darkest corners of the world. May you carry with you the lessons of this garden as you navigate your own journey, finding hope and beauty in the most unlikely of places. As the story of Hades' garden gently fades, let us take a moment to slow down and reflect on the journey we've shared. Imagine the garden in its twilight, the bioluminescent glow casting gentle shadows that dance upon the petals, each whispering the secrets of life and death in a harmonious chorus. The air is filled with the soft hum of nature's lullaby, a soothing melody that invites you to relax and release the day's cares. Feel the calmness seep into your being as the garden story lingers in your mind, a reminder of the resilience of life and the beauty that can emerge from the most unexpected places. Picture the vibrant blooms, each one a testament to the power of determination and hope, standing proudly amidst the shadows, their colors a promise of renewal and rebirth. Let the gentle rhythm of the garden's tale lull you into a state of tranquility, each breath a step further into the embrace of peaceful slumber. Imagine the weight of the world slipping away, leaving only the soft, comforting presence of the garden's legacy, a place where life and death coexist in harmony, where the cycles of nature continue to weave their timeless patterns. As you drift off, carry with you the lessons of the garden, the importance of patience, the grace found in impermanence, and the potential for growth and change that exists even in the deepest shadows. Allow yourself to be enveloped by the serenity of the garden's embrace, knowing that hope can take root and flourish even in the most unlikely of places. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into a restful state, surrounded by the gentle whispers of the garden story. Let the calmness guide you into a night of peaceful dreams where the beauty of Hades' garden continues to bloom in your imagination, a testament to the enduring power of hope and renewal.